Hello everyone, in today's episode we're going to be taking a look at a piece of Disney history that's no longer around. So back in 2017, Pop Century went through a major refurbishment where all of the 80s rooms were completely redone. Now when they decided to get rid of all these different changes, there were some things that were sent over to the Disney cast member store. Now luckily I had a cast member who actually purchased this item for me, and it's a doozy. I absolutely love it. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you one of the pictures that was actually found in the rooms for the 80s room over at Pop Century. Let's take a closer look at it. The poster found here was found in the 80s section of Pop Century's rooms. Now scattered around the entire poster are several different items that you could find from Disney back in the 1980s. The majority of the poster focuses around The Little Mermaid, which was released back in 1989 on November 17th. Throughout the board you can find references to different Disney parks which open up in the 1980s, including Epcot Center and Disney MGM Studios, which opened up on October 1st, 1982 and May 1st, 1989. There's a button for Star Tours that is also found on here, which reads May 1994. Now in actuality, Star Tours did open up on July 12th, 1989, but this is for the Walt Disney Imagineering first flight test, which doesn't make any sense at all, because it's 5 years after. A postcard for the Grand Floridian can be found towards the lower left-hand side. The Grand Floridian opened up on June 28th, 1988, which brings us to some of the items on here that are not exactly related to the parks. You can find a Mickey Mouse Disco album cover. Now, Mickey Mouse Disco was released back in 1979, but a theatrical release of a cartoon video was put out in 1980. You can also find a small portion of the theatrical poster for The Black Cauldron, which opened up July 26, 1985, along with the large poster for The Little Mermaid in the center. In addition to the large poster found in the center, you can also find a smaller version of a Little Mermaid poster, the VHS cover, found in the background as well. The Disney Channel, which debuted on April 18th, 1983, has a magazine in the background featuring Tron. And speaking of television, you can also find Gruffy Gummy, along with Cubby Gummy, from The Adventures of the Gummy Bears, which was a 1985 television program which launched the Disney Afternoon. You can also find toys for Chip and Dale from Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, which launched on March 4th, 1989 over on the Disney Channel. If you feel like Molly from Tailspin feels out of place, along with the comic for Tailspin and the comic for Darkwing Duck, then you would be right. Darkwing Duck debuted on September 8th, 1991, while Tailspin debuted September 7th, 1990. The final three characters found here are from a TV series called The Wuzzles, which ran from September until December of 1985. That's the look at the poster that you can find over at Pop Century, or that you could find at Pop Century. Now, one final little fun fact about these posters is there were two different poster designs for the room. So depending on which room you were actually in, you might have gotten this poster, or you may have gotten a completely different poster in your room, both of them completely representing the 1980s. However, that wraps up this episode of Collectibles, or the Brent Dodge Disney Museum, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. But for more Disney fun, make sure you are following us right here on this page. And until next time, we'll see you guys all a little later. Bye-bye.